Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of the Mockingbird Show. And today I have come up with a very pertinent topic which is one of the main concerns of today's parents and educators, the screen time. The screen time has been a day-to-day word in our world today because after the pandemic, more so, we have got into the digital screen space where our children are engaged most of the time, and we have seen that parents are really concerned about how to limit screen time. Let us first understand what is screen time. Screen time is basically the time that is spent using a device, be it a mobile phone, a laptop, any screen of the like the television or a desktop, and that time which a child involves himself or herself watching or being engaged in it is the screen time. I would want to tell you first and foremost that screen is now a part of our lives and we cannot get rid of it completely. There are ways to monitor it, but let us look at it from a different point of view. If we look at the quality of content, if the content quality is good, there's nothing wrong with screen time, provided we have not passive consumption of what is being shown to us, but interactive, communicative or creative. That means that if we have interactive communication in the screen, maybe we are talking to our family members who are away from us, or we engage in some kind of communication or learning app where we are learning something. And number 3 is basically being creative, like doing our project work, getting our information, all of that. So if a child is involved in screen time in that manner, it is not bad, but the important thing is whether the content is good or not, whether the child is limiting or within set boundaries of that screen time. We need to check that. They should not be exposed to screen for a very long duration. And today I would like to talk to the parents and the educators, tell them about how overexposure to the screen affect a child's development. And for that, let me divide it into different sections. First, detrimental factor is the neurological implications that it has. The first implication being memory. Too much of exposure to the screen may affect a child's memory, in the sense nowadays we have seen that we do not remember certain things. We do not remember birthdays, we do not remember phone numbers. Why? Because we have them in our devices, we have them there, and we do not feel the need to kind of memorize. Memory is a part of our cognitive activity. It's a part of our executive function, and that is reduced by over exposure to the screen. Attention, another very pertinent thing. Children of today are continuously distracted. They are on the screen, something pops up and they get into that, and then another thing pops up and they get into that, and that is how the screen times get excessively elongated. They don't even realize that they have spent 5 to 6 or 7 hours on screen, and then that actually affects their attention because they are not able to concentrate or focus on one thing, but they are constantly moving from one to the next. And also the quick information that screen gives you is another factor, because now children, they do not have the inquisitiveness to know more. They already, everything is out there, they quickly get the information, so they also lose patience if that information doesn't come to them very fast. As a result, in order to be more attentive or more focused, the child needs to spend more time on certain things. Also, children who are exposed to the screen, to very to cartoons and very fast-paced, fast movement activities, they find it very difficult later to concentrate. Also, this fine motor skills. For fine motors, which are the smaller muscles that are involved when we do something, we need to be more active, in the sense that in order to develop the eye-hand coordination to do things on time, to do it accurately, the child needs to be more into hands-on activities like art, craft, drawing, and all of it. So this gets affected if the child is constantly on the screen. And then the executive functioning, like I told about, memory, the cognition bit, problem solving, and taking a decision, all of this is affected by excessive screen time, because a child loses that concentration or loses the capacity to think and analyze. They are served everything on the platter, they get it just ready-made, and then that stops the practice of actually getting deeper into a subject, trying to understand it more, or trying to get a solution of it. Coming to the impact of excessive screen exposure on communication and language development. So when children are mostly, communicating in a virtual space, they lose the sense of how to interact face to face. So face to face communication kind of deteriorates. They do not develop the skill to communicate with another individual on a face to face level, and that I feel is affects communication or development of language skills. Also, another way is when we look into the screen doesn't talk to us. So we are just absorbing the information that is being given to us, but we don't reciprocate. So there is no exchange of dialogues. So nowadays I have been seeing their parents tell us that my child is not able to communicate, there is no speech development in my child, and what is the reason, and what should we do? Should we take them to a speech therapist? But speech therapist is not actually the solution. It is about communication. So nowadays in our nuclear families there is less of communication, more of screen time with everyone. The parents are involved in their own world, children are involved in their own screens, and that is why this communication, the dialogues, the development of language is getting hampered. And when I was talking about cognitive functioning, screen time also affects a child's emotional self-regulation. We are working a lot on SEL, on the space of socio-emotional learning, and I would say that too much of unregulated exposure to screen do not allow a child to be emotionally self-regulated. Research that has come up and has very evident findings that children who spend too much time on screen do not score good in language. Now coming to the next section, the impact of screen time on physical health of children. Recent studies have shown that excessive screen time has a lot of detrimental effect on children's health. Obesity. Children who are always on the screen, sitting in one position for the most part of the day, will develop obesity because they do not have movement, they have no exercise. On the other hand, they are just on the couch or on the sofa binging into whatever is being shown in the screen. We should actually, as parents, as educators, try to engage our children more on physical activity. I'll go to that part, how to limit screen time and how can we engage children. So this is but obvious that children of today are less physically active than they used to be. Children, when they are involved in screen, they keep eating stuff, they keep consuming food. That again leads to obesity because they consume excessive food without the knowledge of how much they are having, and they have no physical activity to burn that excessive fat. The blue light that is emitted from the screen disrupts sleep. It takes away sleep, even for adults. It is very, very detrimental to sleep, and that affects health because children need good sleep in order to grow. And posture problem. Nowadays we are seeing children are in different postures looking at the screen. They are either lying down with their spine not erect but bent, and these kind of constant lying down in a wrong position often leads to posture problems. We recently did an evaluation which was based on an AI app where we were evaluating the children on different skills, be it cognitive, be it language, creativity, and also gross motor and fine motor, sensomotor skills. And we saw that when we were marking as educators, the parents are marking their children, the results were very evident that children were scoring very low on the physical activity part of it. That is why we are stressing so much on PE, physical education, because that being active physically also kind of boosts a child's learning process, boosts a child's development. In today's episode of the Mockingbird Show, I discussed about the impact of screen time on different aspects of a child's development. And my next episode would be about the solutions, how we can limit screen time, because I would not say screen time is bad. If it is filled with good content, if it is interactive, it is communicative and creative, and under the supervision of adults, it can be quite positive. But we need to look at how much time we are giving on the screen and the content of what is being done during that time where the child is involved with the screen. So in the next episode of the Mockingbird Show, I will talk about how we can limit and also make screen time positive for the child while they are on it. Keep watching the Mockingbird Show and don't forget to subscribe.